All right, so today we're tackling one of the internet's biggest mysteries, the YouTube algorithm.
Yeah.
I mean, I think we've all been there staring at our recommended videos. Like, how did this get here?
Great.
Especially for creators trying to get more views.
For sure.
You know, it's this big black box.
Absolutely.
And luckily, you send over some awesome info straight from the source, the YouTube Creators channel. And I gotta say, some of this was pretty mind-blowing.
Yeah, it is pretty fascinating.
Yeah.
I think the biggest takeaway for me is that it's not so much about gaming the system as it is about understanding what the system is actually trying to do.
Okay.
Which is to connect people with videos they'll genuinely enjoy.
So it's not just this like cold, heartless machine churning out random videos.
Not at all, no. It's
No?
actually designed with the human experience in mind.
Okay.
And they've got some really clever ways of measuring that enjoyment,
Oh, really?
which we'll get to.
Right.
But first, let's start with the basics. Like, how does YouTube actually decide which videos to show us?
Yeah, it's like we're all lost at sea with millions of videos out there.
Right.
How does it even pick?
So imagine YouTube as like a giant library, right? It's not just randomly throwing books on display.
Right.
Instead, it's learning your favorite genres, your favorite authors, putting those books front and center for you.
Okay.
YouTube's doing the same thing, but with videos.
Okay.
And it uses two main categories to kind of curate those recommendations for you: viewer personalization
Okay.
and video performance.
All right, so viewer personalization sounds like it's all about me, the viewer.
Right.
But how deep does this go?
Pretty deep, actually. It's not just about what you watch. They're tracking what you skip, what you dismiss, even how often you watch videos from specific channels.
Oh, wow.
It's all about building that super personalized experience.
So that explains why my recommendations are so eerily accurate sometimes.
Right.
It's like YouTube knows me better than I know myself.
Exactly. And for creators, this is huge because it means it's less about shouting into the void and more about actually knowing who's listening.
Yeah, okay, so then what about video performance?
So that's all about how engaging the video itself is.
So it's not just about racking up views.
No, views are only part of the picture.
Okay.
Remember, YouTube's goal is to keep people engaged and watching. So the algorithm's paying attention to how long people actually watch a video.
Right.
The average view duration, the percentage viewed, not just how many times it was clicked on.
That makes sense. You know how annoying it is when you click a video and it's just not what you expected?
Right.
Total letdown.
Exactly.
YouTube knows that they're trying to weed those out. But here's where it gets really interesting.
Okay.
This is one of those juicy details I mentioned earlier.
Okay.
YouTube actually measures viewer satisfaction.
They do. It's true.
Wait, how do they do that?
So it's not quite mind-reading, but they're using things like those little surveys that pop up after you've watched a video,
Right.
asking if you liked it or found it helpful. And then, of course, those likes and dislikes, they play a role too.
Right.
It all feeds back into the algorithm
Interesting.
and helps determine how much a video gets recommended.
So you can't just like trick people into clicking anymore. You got to actually create something that they enjoy and watch all the way through.
Exactly. The key takeaway here is you really want to create genuinely engaging content that people will actually enjoy watching.
That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Now, you know, a lot of creators wonder about titles and thumbnails. Does changing those actually affect a video's ranking?
It can, but not in the way that some people think.
Okay.
It's not like the algorithm suddenly sees a new title
Right.
and decides to boost your video.
Okay.
It's more about how those changes affect viewer behavior.
Okay, so walk me through that. How are those two things connected?
So a new title or thumbnail might attract more clicks,
Right.
but only if they're actually more enticing and relevant to
Okay.
the content.
So it's a double-edged sword.
Yes, definitely.
You could get more clicks with a clickbaity title,
Right.
but then if the content doesn't live up to the hype,
Totally.
you're actually kind of shooting yourself in the foot.
Exactly. The key is to find that balance
Okay.
between attracting clicks and making sure the content delivers. So if your video is already doing well,
Yeah.
you probably don't want to mess with it. But if it's underperforming, tweaking the title or thumbnail could help
Right.
to see if you can boost those clicks and the watch time.
Okay. That's super helpful.
Yeah.
Now let's talk about something that I think keeps a lot of creators up at night. Flops.
Yeah.
We all have those videos that just don't perform how we hoped.
Right.
If one of my videos totally tanks, does that hurt my whole channel?
That's a really good question. And the good news is one dud video won't sink your entire channel.
Okay, good.
YouTube's looking at the bigger picture, you know, the overall performance of your videos, how they're engaging your audience,
So it's more about the long game.
Exactly. Think of it like a diet.
Okay.
One bad meal
Yeah.
doesn't ruin your entire diet.
Right.
But if you're consistently making unhealthy choices, it's going to catch up with you eventually.
Right. That makes sense.
Same with YouTube. Consistent low engagement could signal a problem.
Yeah.
Maybe your audience's interests have shifted, or the quality of your content has dropped.
Right. So pay attention to the trends.
Exactly.
Not every little fluctuation.
Yeah.
Now, this next one really surprised me when I was going through this material.
Yeah.
You know that little yellow icon that shows up
Yeah.
when a video is monetized?
Right. The holy grail for creators.
Yeah, exactly. Well, according to YouTube, the algorithm doesn't even know which videos are monetized.
It's true.
It doesn't play a role in video discovery at all.
The algorithm is purely focused on connecting viewers with content they'll enjoy.
Wow, that's a game changer.
Right.
I know so many creators believe that monetization, like, magically boosts your visibility.
Yeah, that is a really common misconception.
Yeah.
There is one caveat, though.
Okay.
Videos with sensitive content that get demonetized
Right.
might also reach fewer viewers.
Okay.
Because they're just not appropriate for all audiences.
Got it. So it's not the monetization itself,
Right.
but the type of content.
Exactly.
That might be limiting the reach.
Yep. And that leads us to another point a lot of creators struggle with.
Okay.
Upload frequency.
Oh, yeah.
That pressure to constantly churn out content.
The hustle is real.
Right.
Does uploading every day actually lead to more growth?
So YouTube's own analysis found that growth isn't directly tied to how often you upload.
Oh, that's a relief.
Right.
I've totally fallen into that trap myself.
For sure. It's a common one.
Thinking more is always better.
Yeah, but it's really not. A lot of creators have built strong followings by focusing on quality.
Over quantity.
Over quantity, exactly.
That's huge. It's like, I'd rather have one amazing video that people love
Yeah.
than like 10 mediocre ones that nobody watches.
You can focus on creating something amazing.
Right.
And avoid burnout.
Good advice.
Yeah.
Take care of yourself. Now let's talk about subscribers.
Okay.
You know, it can be really discouraging
Yeah.
when you have a decent subscriber count,
Right.
but your videos just aren't getting the views.
Yeah, and I think it's important to remember that not all subscribers are created equal.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so just because someone hits that subscribe button doesn't mean they're eagerly awaiting your next upload.
Oh, that hurts.
I know.
So even if they subscribe,
Yeah.
they might not actually watch,
Yeah, people subscribe to tons of channels,
right?
and they might not catch every single video
Mm-hmm.
from every channel they follow.
Okay.
And some subscribers might even be inactive altogether.
Wow. Okay, so don't get too hung up on the subscriber count alone.
No, definitely not.
All right, so what should we be focusing on then?
YouTube analytics,
Okay.
that's where the real insights are.
Uh-huh.
Dig into that data.
Okay.
See who's actually watching your videos,
Right.
where they're coming from, and what's resonating with them.
Okay.
That's going to help you grow.
Awesome. So we've covered personalization, video performance,
Yeah,
even busted some myths about monetization and upload frequency.
we did.
But are there any other factors that influence how people see our videos?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. There are 3 major external factors that are really important for creators to know.
Okay.
Topic interest, competition,
Okay.
and seasonality.
All right, break it down for me. What's topic interest all about?
It's basically how many people worldwide are interested in and actually watching videos about a certain topic. Some topics are just naturally more popular than others,
Right.
and that popularity can change over time.
So if I'm making videos about the hottest new trend, I might see a surge in views.
You probably would.
But then that could also fade as the trend dies down.
Exactly. And that's why it's important to kind of keep your finger on the pulse
Okay.
of what's hot and what's not.
How do we do that?
YouTube actually recommends using Google Trends.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, to track interest over time.
Okay.
You can even filter down to just YouTube search data.
That's super helpful. Okay, now what about competition?
So even if you have an amazing video with great performance metrics, you might get fewer impressions if other videos on that same topic are performing even better.
Oh, that's rough.
I know.
It's like you're doing everything right,
Yeah.
but you're still facing an uphill battle.
It's like trying to stand out in a crowded market.
Yeah.
You got to find a way to differentiate yourself to
Okay.
really grab people's attention.
And then there's seasonality. What's that all about?
Seasonality is about how real world events and trends can impact viewership. So think back to school videos in August.
Right.
Or holiday themed content in December.
So it's about being aware of what's going on in the world.
Exactly.
And how that might influence what people are searching for.
Yeah, think about your audience, where they live, and what's going on in their lives.
Okay.
That could affect what they want to watch.
All right, so we've covered a lot here, but before we move on, I got to ask about something that's been on my mind.
Okay.
Tags.
Yeah.
How important are they really? I always thought they were super important for YouTube to understand my video.
So this might surprise you, but tags aren't as important as many creators think.
Really?
Yeah.
So all those hours I spent agonizing over the perfect tags were for nothing.
Well, they do play a role, but it's pretty minor.
Okay.
YouTube's system is really driven by those other things we talked about.
Right.
Personalization, video performance, and those external factors.
But what are tags actually used for then?
Their main function is to help correct for common spelling mistakes.
Oh, so like if someone searches YouTube instead of YouTube, my video will still show up. So it's more about catching typos and misspellings.
Exactly. Don't obsess over them.
Okay.
Your time's better spent on the things that actually matter.
Got it. Focus on the big picture, not these tiny details.
Exactly. Ultimately, success on YouTube boils down to this: create content people genuinely want to watch.
Right.
That's what the algorithm rewards. That's what's going to drive your channel's growth.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for this section. Stay tuned for part 2 of our deep dive, where we'll explore some practical tips and strategies for creating content that really resonates with your audience.
Sounds good. Welcome back to our deep dive on the YouTube algorithm.
So we've busted some myths, laid the groundwork, but now let's get practical.
Okay.
What can creators actually do with this information?
Yeah, that's the million-dollar question, right?
Right.
It's great to know how the system works, but you got to be able to actually use it to your advantage.
So what's the first thing creators should focus on?
Well, it all comes back to your audience.
Okay.
YouTube really hammers this home, like knowing who your audience is and what they want.
Yeah, that sounds kind of obvious.
It does.
But I think it's easy to lose sight of that
Totally.
when you're so caught up in the numbers.
Absolutely. So how do you really get to know your audience?
Yeah, beyond just basic demographics.
Sure.
Like, how do we get inside their heads?
So YouTube Analytics is your best friend here.
Okay.
It's like a backstage pass to your audience's viewing habits.
Interesting.
So you want to dive deep into that data,
Okay.
see which videos are performing well, who's watching them, where they're coming from,
Right.
how long you're sticking around.
So it's not just about views and subscribers.
Those are important,
Right.
but they only tell part of the story.
Okay, give me an analogy.
Okay, so think of views as like people walking past your store.
Okay.
But watch time is them actually coming in and browsing.
I like.
Yeah, so you want to see what's keeping them in the store.
Right, what's making them stay.
Exactly.
Okay, so let's say we've done that. We understand our audience. Now, how do we turn that knowledge into content that performs well?
So this is where content strategy comes in.
Okay.
And remember, YouTube's algorithm loves videos that keep people watching.
Right.
So your goal is to create stuff that's genuinely engaging and relevant.
Easier said than done.
I know, right? Everyone wants to make engaging content.
Right.
But how do you actually do it?
Yeah, are there any secret formulas?
I wish.
Or like magic tricks?
No magic tricks, unfortunately.
Okay.
But there are some key elements to keep in mind.
Okay, I'm listening.
First, make sure your content is high quality.
Okay, that makes sense. But what does high quality actually mean when we're talking YouTube?
So think good visuals, clear audio,
Right.
and most importantly, valuable information or entertainment.
Okay.
You know, put yourself in the viewer's shoes. If they're seeing blurry footage,
Right.
muffled sound,
Yeah.
rambling content, they're going to click away.
Yeah. No more recording with my laptop's built-in mic.
Well, it depends on your niche.
Okay.
Sometimes that rawness is good.
Right.
It adds to the charm.
Right.
But generally, you want your videos to be as polished as possible.
Makes sense. So quality.
Yeah.
What else?
Storytelling.
Ooh.
Don't underestimate the power of a good story.
You mean like crafting a narrative even for a tutorial video?
Exactly. Even informational content
Wow.
can benefit from a strong narrative.
Interesting.
Think about it. Stories capture attention, make information easier to remember,
Right.
and they create an emotional connection.
I never thought about it like that. Okay, so quality storytelling, anything else?
Pacing.
Pacing.
Yeah, think about the pacing of your videos.
Okay.
Don't be afraid to cut the fluff.
All right, so no more long intros?
Or meandering off on tangents.
I am so guilty of that.
Again, it depends on your style and your audience.
Yep.
But generally, concise and engaging content tends to perform better.
Right. Like, would you rather listen to a speaker drone on and on?
Yeah.
Or someone who just gets to the point?
Exactly. Get to the point.
Okay, so we've got quality storytelling, pacing. What about calls to action?
Oh, those are crucial.
Right.
Don't just leave your viewers hanging at the end of the video.
Okay.
Encourage them to like, comment, subscribe.
Right.
Check out other relevant content.
Keep them coming back for more.
Yeah, you want them to interact and become part of your community.
So it's not just about making great content.
Right.
It's about building that relationship.
Exactly. And don't forget about those external factors we talked about.
Right. Topic, interest, competition, seasonality.
Yeah, you got to be mindful of what's trending in your niche.
Okay.
What your competitors are doing. And how those real-world events are impacting viewership.
So keep an eye on Google Trends. See what's happening in my little corner of YouTube. Be strategic about when I release certain videos.
Exactly. You can't control everything.
Yeah, right. But you can be smart about how you release your content.
Okay. This is all great in theory, but let's get even more specific.
Okay.
What are some tactical things creators can do to improve their video performance?
Let's start with titles and thumbnails.
Okay, those all important first impressions.
Yes, they're your first impression.
Right.
It's like the storefront of your video.
I like that.
Yeah, so you want it to be eye-catching, inviting.
Okay, so clear, concise, compelling. Any other tips?
Your title should accurately reflect the content, but also pique their curiosity.
Okay.
Think about what would make you want to click. And the thumbnail should be visually appealing and relevant to the topic.
Okay, so no clickbait?
Clickbait might get you clicks,
Right.
but it won't necessarily lead to engagement.
Right, because YouTube's measuring how long people watch.
Exactly. And if they click through because of a misleading title or thumbnail, they're probably going to bounce pretty quickly. Yeah, it's like tricking someone into going to a restaurant they hate.
Exactly. They might walk in, but they're not going to stay for the whole meal.
So authenticity is key.
Authenticity is key. Be genuine. Be interesting. Create content you're proud of.
Love it. Okay, so titles, thumbnails, we got that. What about optimizing the video itself?
All right, so think about using cards and end screens to promote your other content. Other videos playlists.
So basically keep people on my channel longer.
Exactly. The longer they watch, the better your video is going to perform.
Makes sense.
You can also use closed captions to make your videos accessible to more people.
Right. Accessibility is so important.
So important.
And don't forget about promoting on other platforms.
Yes. Spread the word.
Right.
Social media, email lists.
Drive traffic to those videos. Okay, this is all making sense, but I got to ask about tags again.
Okay.
We talked about them before. Are they really worth putting any effort into?
Honestly, tags are probably the least of your worries. They're mainly used to correct for spelling errors.
Right.
So don't spend hours agonizing over the perfect combination.
Okay.
Just use a few relevant tags and move on.
So focus on the big picture, not the tiny details.
Exactly.
All right, that's a wrap for this section.
Great.
We've covered a lot of ground, but there's still more to come. In part 3, we'll dive into some even more advanced strategies for YouTube success. All right, welcome back to the Deep Dive.
We're back.
We've gone deep into the YouTube algorithm, busted some myths, uncovered some awesome strategies.
It's been a journey.
But we're not done yet.
Not quite.
We've covered the basics, but now it's time to level up.
Okay, I like it.
Let's talk advanced tactics for YouTube success.
I'm ready.
What's first on the agenda?
Let's talk about collaboration.
Teamwork makes the dream work.
Exactly.
But how does collaboration actually translate into YouTube growth?
So when you collaborate with another creator, you're basically tapping into their audience, exposing your channel to a whole new group of potential viewers.
It's like cross-pollination for your content.
That's a great way to put it, yeah.
So finding creators in a similar niche with a similar target audience.
Right. You want to look for creators whose content aligns with yours.
Okay.
But who aren't direct competitors.
Right. So you're not stepping on each other's toes.
Exactly. You can cross-promote each other's channels. Create a win-win for both of you.
So besides expanding your reach, any other benefits of collaboration?
Oh, yeah, for sure.
Okay, what else?
Collaboration can really spark creativity.
Okay.
Lead to fresh new ideas.
Interesting.
You know, when you work with someone who has a different perspective, a different skill set, it can push you out of your comfort zone.
Right.
Help you see your content in a whole new way.
And it's just more fun to work with other people, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Bouncing ideas off each other, getting feedback, celebrating those wins together.
It makes the whole process more enjoyable.
Right.
More rewarding.
Okay, so collaboration checked off the list. What other advanced strategies should creators be thinking about?
Community. Community.
YouTube's not just about uploading videos.
Okay.
It's about building a community around your content.
The most successful YouTubers, they all seem to have this amazing connection with their viewers.
It's true.
Like they're all part of this exclusive club.
And that sense of community can make a huge difference.
Okay. So how do we build that?
Start by engaging with your viewers in the comments section.
Okay.
Respond to comments, ask questions,
Right.
spark conversations, let them know you're listening.
So be present. Don't just drop a video and disappear.
Right. It's about building relationships.
Okay.
You want them to feel like they're part of something special.
So besides responding to comments, what are some other ways to foster that sense of community?
Think about hosting live streams, Q&A sessions.
Right.
This is a great way to connect with viewers in real time,
Yeah.
answer their questions.
It shows them that you're a real person.
Not just some faceless content machine.
Human connection, that's what it's all about.
All right, so we've got collaboration community. What else should creators be doing to level up their YouTube game?
Experimentation.
Ooh, I like that word.
Right.
Trying new things. Getting a little weird.
Maybe a little weird.
Embrace the chaos.
Exactly. You never know what might take off.
So don't be afraid to push those boundaries.
No, don't be afraid. Try different video formats. Explore new topics.
Okay.
Get creative with your editing.
Embrace that spirit of curiosity.
Yes. Stay curious. Stay engaged.
Okay.
And most importantly, stay passionate.
Passion, that's the key.
The YouTube landscape is always changing.
Right.
So you have to keep learning. Keep experimenting and keep evolving.
So read those industry blogs.
Yes.
Watch videos from YouTube experts.
Absolutely.
Never stop asking questions.
And don't forget to have fun.
That's so important.
It should be enjoyable.
If you're not passionate about it,
It's going to show.
find your niche. Embrace your creativity. Let your personality shine through.
The world is waiting to discover you.
What a great way to put it.
I try.
This has been such an amazing deep dive.
It has.
I feel like I have a whole new understanding of how the YouTube algorithm works.
That's what we like to hear.
To all our listeners out there, we hope you found this deep dive helpful and inspiring. If you want to explore any of those resources we talked about from the YouTube creator channel, you can find links in our show notes.
Great.
Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you on the next episode of The Deep Dive.